let's be real, guys. There's a growing number of people inside the video game industry who absolutely despise gamers. They hate you, they hate me, they hate each and every single one of us. And I'm not talking about like just like oh, I don't like that guy. I mean, they genuinely hate the people who keep the entire video game industry alive. And every single time a major game flops, whether it's The Last of Us Part 2 or Concord or Ghost of Yotei, which is the latest, the same people crawl out of the woodwork to say, it's the gamer's fault. It's sexism. It's racism. It's bigotry. It's Gamergate all over again. Oh, my pussy hurts. And again, here we go. Ooh, it's Gamergate, which is being blamed for it. But this time, they're taking it literally, guys. And you need to understand this isn't just about one game, okay? It's about how journalists, activists, industry insiders, and I use that term loosely, keep weaponizing guilt. And they're literally using identity and woke politics to shut down criticism. We've seen it time and time again. If you've ever disagreed with their approved narrative, congrats, you're part of the problem and you need to be dealt with. So let's talk about this article that I found on Slate from an individual by the name of Laura Kate Dale, because you're about to lose your freaking mind. I haven't seen a retarded article in quite some time. So here we go. The Ghost of Gamergate is what they're calling it, guys. Yes, the Ghost of Gamergate. Gamergate's back, y'all. So they're journalists, they're an activist, and they're known for pushing DEI initiatives. And they published this piece, and the message behind it is if you don't like Ghost of Yotei, you must be some kind of alt-right troll that's reliving 2014 again, that you've never got over Gamergate. But here's what's wild, guys. In this article, they openly admit that the game's creators are the kind of people she personally agrees with. And that's not journalism. That's literally having a bias. That's PR with a pronoun pin. And the Access Media, they're absolutely eating it up, guys, because Ghost of Yotei supports the very same cultural narratives that these people have been trying to shove into gaming for over a decade. You can even see right here at the beginning, a new video game sparked fury and accusations of wokeness in entertainment, but we've played this game before, and it's boring. You can see they go on to this whole spiel about how Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima came out during the first year of COVID lockdowns, and they said, while Last of Us Part 2 is far from perfect, the game's sin on release for many of the political right was that it took a series whose lead was previously a man and continued its story with one lead who was a lesbian and another whose appearance was deemed too masculine for these players to be attracted to her. Yeah, they're making it about sexism, right? Frequently, allegations this character must be trans were used to suggest her appearance discredited her right to womanhood. The game also featured a prominent transgender character, which further drew the ear of right leaning gamers. Now they're going on to talk about how Ghost of Yotei is experiencing the same thing that Last of Us Part 2 did, because in Last of Us 1, we had Joel. In Ghost of Tsushima, we had Jin Sakai. Now we have a strong female protagonist, right? So they're saying, fast forward to October 2025, and we see the release of its sequel, Ghost of Yotei, set 300 years after Tsushima. It follows the story of Atsu, a young woman on a quest for revenge against the 6 people responsible for slaughtering her family. And at its core, it's a very similar game to Ghost of Tsushima, but now the very same right-wing voices who held Ghost of Tsushima up are basically saying it's a terrible video game with no redeeming quality. So you can see she's coping and seething in this, saying how YouTube creators decried how woke politics ruined the game while others took to X to decry its progressive agenda. We ignored the woke hirings and other rumors. Then they go on to talk about Grum's, because of course, Grum's derangement syndrome. It's a fucking retarded article here, guys, that you just gotta read. The excuses time and time again. It's the same song and dance. They want to say it's us that can't move on from Gamergate. It's the same song and dance, guys. So that article, literally tried to compare Ghost of Yotei to Ghost of Tsushima, which was a 2020 masterpiece that gamers actually loved, guys. And The Last of Us Part 2, which divided fans completely. The author of this article, Laura Kate Dale, also says people only like Tsushima because it was a right wing response to Last of Us Part 2. No, guys. Gamers like Tsushima because it respected the audience. It didn't treat us like idiots. It told a strong story. It didn't lecture anyone about identity politics. And the Axis media cannot stand that. They hate that stuff. If you prefer a game that isn't built around identity politics, you're automatically part of this culture war. You're a problem. And again, the problem with Ghost of Yotei, let's talk about it real quick. Where it falls apart, they completely replaced Jin Sakai, one of PlayStation's most iconic leads, with a new character, Atsu. That was mistake number one. Instead of continuing Jin's legacy or expanding any kind of arcs, they jumped 300 years into the future just to make a point. What's the point? On top of that, they brought in openly political figures, including the voice actress for the main character, Erika Ishii, who openly identifies with Antifa, and devs who are joking about assassinations online. Remember Drew Harrison laughing about Charlie Kirk? Even Sucker Punch's own co founder distanced himself from how the sequel was handled, right? Like, oh, but he didn't dare say it outright. They just distanced themselves. And when fans voiced concern, the same journalists who claim to fight for inclusivity call them toxic. They call them sexist. They call them bigoted, guys. Now, let's take a quick look at this author, Laura Kate Dale, so you could find out the type of people that are the Axis media that are defending this nonsense. So here's Laura Kate Dale's X account. Accessibility for Life is Strange, double exposure, queer consultant, accessibility author, Wig Awards Journalism Impact winner. So, yeah, in there at Blue Sky. That tells you everything you know. And then they apparently have a Wikipedia page, which okay, cool. I guess they do have some notoriety, but you could just tell from the biography. They're an English video game journalist, author, and activist. She's known for writing about the transgender and autism communities in relation to video games and for her video game industry leaks. Many of her topics tackle accessibility for disabled players and LGBTQ representation. And of course, we got the blue hair. And do they have a nose ring? They do not. So I guess we lucked out on that. So this is the type of individual that is writing this article, The Ghost of Yotei, being the ghost of Gamergate. Just remember, okay? It's an agenda that they can't let go of, that they won't let go of, that they refuse to let go of. It's gamers' fault. It's right wingers' fault when a game flops. They have to protect this narrative. Why? And here's what's so exhausting about this whole debate, guys. These are the same people who will tell you to just play the game, but they're the ones that will boycott things like Hogwarts Legacy because they don't like the creator's opinions. They got so twisted over J.K. Rowling and her opinions, right? When they boycott, it's brave activism, and when we do it, it's hate. They want it both ways, and if you notice the double standard, you become the enemy. They treat you like your public enemy number one, persona non grata. And it's a double standard that I can't take anymore, guys. And this is the same pattern we've seen in the past with things like Dragon Age Veilguard, Assassin's Creed Shadows, even Ubisoft's canceled projects about the Civil War. That supposedly canceled Civil War Assassin's Creed, where you're literally a black slave fighting the KKK. Developers used to focus on world building. They used to focus on fun, entertaining people. Now everything that they build is about messaging. Why? We're not angry that there's diverse characters, guys. I'm not. I'm not angry if there's a female or a black character in a video game. I'm Mexican. I'm a minority. Okay? We're angry that authenticity, that immersion and respect for the audience are being replaced by political checklists. And they don't want to admit it. Normal gamers don't care about this. No, that's a cop out. That's a cop out for people that are idiots that just take this slop. Okay, we've been saying this for years, and every time the same journalists bring back the same excuse. Gamergate did this. Gamergate's the reason why this failed. No, guys, gamers just want games to be good again. We want good games again. And the real irony, what's real funny about Laura's piece, this whole article where she cries, is that she ends it by blaming right wing men for attacking minority creatives, conveniently ignoring that plenty of women, LGBT gamers, and minority creators are criticizing Ghost of Yotei at this moment too. It's getting criticized from up to bottom. Okay, it's not just right wingers saying this game is terrible, that's a flop, that it's badly executed, and they can't acknowledge that because the moment that they do, the whole us versus them narrative collapses, and they can't have that. They don't want dialogue. They want obedience. They want people to be fighting. They want people to not get along. At the end of the day, this is not about left or right, guys. It's about whether we still believe games are supposed to be fun, emotional, and creative, or whether they're just another platform for propaganda, which that seems like what it's going to be more and more as we speak, right? So yeah, if this whole video makes me part of the ghost of Gamergate, so be it. I'm fine with that. At least I still care about the heart and soul of video games, right? And if that makes me toxic, so be it. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think Ghost of Yotei deserves this backlash it's been getting, or are fans just tired of being blamed for having opinions? And if you found this video interesting or informative, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much